Let's talk about all the games that I've played recently and whether or not they are for you with a quick review video of each. Yo, welcome back to Cozy Bichota. Today, let's talk about some of the games that have released recently, whether it was near the last couple of months or weeks, and whether or not these games might be for you, some of the things that I liked about it, and some of the things that could be better. I do want to start off by saying that each one of these games was gifted to me in some capacity, whether from the devs themselves, the teams working with the devs, or maybe a friend. But that does not influence how I feel about the game, so I still want to be very straightforward about my experience. And first up on the list, I have Super Farming Boy, and this game is currently in early access, released over the summer, and there is a demo available if you'd like to check it out. So let me tell you a little bit more about the game and what really spoke out to me. In Super Farming Boy, you are playing as a young super whose mom was kidnapped by the evil nemesis Corpo. You basically have to play all these quirky challenges to earn back the tools and save enough money to rescue mom. You do get taxed in the game, so all you need to do is make enough money each round. It's a chain reaction style game, so you learn what each crop does once you harvest them and learn the patterns. The art style is endearing in a comic book style, which I do not often see in farming games. It is a farming game, but it's not at the same time. The music is perfect for this superhero-esque vibe the game is giving. The chain reactions are fun to familiarize yourself with because it has a nice fun puzzle element to it. I really enjoyed unlocking different tools along the way, different crops, and learning the different patterns that I had to in order to clear up the farm, as well as some of the different enemies that kind of come along the way. I thought that was very unique in this style of game, and I've also never played a farming game that had a puzzle or chain reaction style to it. So for me, that was really entertaining, but that could be a turnoff for you if you'd rather be playing a farming sim focused game. So be mindful of the fact that this does have sort of a puzzle element to it that might turn you off. It is not slow paced, but definitely more of a high paced level game. So make sure to prepare yourself for that. I do recommend it for folks that enjoy some farming, but with a major twist. Next up, let's move into Little Problems. And this game, to me, was not my favorite on the list, but one that I could maybe see myself getting into a little bit more if I dedicate some more time to it. So here's a description and my points about the game. In this game, you experience being a detective solving small cases or little problems. The game is hand-drawn with approachable puzzles to solve, 10 cases to solve in total, and the option of hints if you get stuck. What really drew me toward this game was the graphic style, because it's absolutely stunning and you can tell that there is dedication in making them look professionally and meticulously hand-drawn. I appreciate really good art in games for that reason. The music is super catchy and goes with the whole bright aesthetic of the game. The game does have a pretty great hint system because I can find it really frustrating playing a puzzle game and getting stuck and not knowing how to move forward. So I do appreciate that you can toggle it on or off to make the experience as cozy as possible for yourself. It also has an option where you can write your own notes. So if you are discovering new things and as the levels progress, they do get a little bit more tedious in the sense that there's a lot more information to digest. And when you're trying to figure out the puzzle, they're asking you more questions. So having like a little note section so that you can write important details is really helpful. I think for me, I personally had moments of fun, but the detective style of the game didn't fully grasp my attention as I felt the cases got longer and my ability to memorize and store information became a little bit more limited and tedious in that sense. I would still recommend the game as it is because it does have so many functions that make it easy to approach clues, hints, and solving cases easily, but I felt personally, I didn't fully connect with it, and maybe I need to approach it from a different angle to see if I would fully enjoy it. Next, we have Videoverse, which is one of those super endearing visual novel games, one of my favorites actually as well. One of the first ones I probably showcased on this channel, and so if you want to go back and see like older Natalia putting together videos, then I will make sure to link it somewhere on here for you. This game is really charming, and the reason why I'm highlighting it is because it finally had a console release, so I got to experience it on the Switch. And let me just tell you right off the bat, out of all the games on this list, this one is my favorite, and this game really did have a pretty good Switch port. In Videoverse, you live out the early days of the internet and the Kinmoku shark before the online social network was taken down. You experience conversations with other online players and view posts made by friends and even some people that you might not get along with. This is one of my favorite visual novels, so when the dev reached out about the console release, I was super excited to be able to check it out, as I felt that this game would be so warm and cozy to play on the Switch, just bundled up on the couch. It's a game that I do like to reach for when I'm getting ready to go to bed, so I have a little visual novel to enjoy. The whole aesthetic is very nostalgic, retro gaming era, and making friends online before the platform was completely removed, some of the emotion behind it, and what it's like to lose a platform where you really made connections. The mechanics of the game were really smooth. I was a little worried because sometimes games that are primarily made for PC, where the focus really is keyboard and mouse, doesn't feel so natural when using Joy-Cons or controllers or anything of that sort. But picking the options of the dialogue and going through the actual gameplay was really smooth with the Joy-Cons, so I'm really happy that that porting was done so well. It didn't make it feel like I was playing it again for PC, in the sense that I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I wish I just kept playing it on PC instead. The game has a strong pixel art style to it with a little bit more of a cartoon comic strip style, so the graphics actually looked really great on the Switch. The music was really retro reminiscent and immersive, so I love that they kept that. So I love that players are going to be able to enjoy that even further because of the fact that it's on consoles as well now. The length of the game is perfect for a visual novel, taking about 5 to 6 hours to complete. I'm overall really happy with the port, and I know the dev has been very active with bug fixes and feedback, so this game really does deserve a lot of love. And we're coming down to the last two games on the list, and this next one is Little Corners, and I was so excited when my friend reached out to me with this game because if you've ever seen those sticker scenes that you can put together, I've always wanted to do one, and there is a video game version of it. So I got to experience a little bit of it in a video game version. I still want to get actual sticker scene to do myself, but this one was really charming to check out. In Little Corners, you are putting together sticker scenes. You can choose from a couple of different options, such as a cottage kitchen or alchemist tower. Pick up stickers and place them to create your own little scene. The graphic style of this game made me instantly connect with an actual sticker scene, it being super cute and also having so many layers to it. The colors are so lovely and appropriate for each scene, so if you're doing an alchemist type scene, you might feel more woodsy and tones that maybe are a little bit more dark. But if you're doing a cottage kitchen, you might have those woodsy feels with naturey vibes to them. The music was soothing, so it helped enhance a cozy experience, which is what I was hoping for in this type of game. I don't really like really cozy games that are supposed to be a moment of maybe connecting with your inner artist and having music that's like blasting in your ears. I want something soothing. There are even hidden stickers that you can unlock too, which I think is a really great feature. I loved the freedom of being able to place items wherever you want, being able to rotate them in different directions, whether horizontally, vertically, layering them, positioning them. That was really nice to be able to have that freedom, because when you are really into like decorating games, it's really frustrating when you're limited with what you can do. I will say that my criticism of this game though is not having an option for an outline or a grid that you could toggle on or off. I think it would be really great for folks that do like to have some direction and have never done a sticker scene before, or even just to be able to stick the different stickers and place them at the same heights or distances if you are particular about things lining up a certain way. And it would be nice to have an option to group items when you want to move them instead of moving each piece individually if you already have them layered together. As in, maybe you put together a basket, you've got some apples and bananas and different fruit, but then want to move the whole item. I didn't seem to find a button or feature that let me put it all together and move it. Instead, I would have to move each one individually and layer them again. And last on this list, I have As I Began to Dream, and this one is a puzzle platformer. And to me, this game is really charming because it made me think of Evan's Remains, and I really enjoy puzzle elements in games and games that have gentle platforming because I am not the biggest platformer. So this game combines both with a very heartfelt story. So if you are going to check out this game, the content warning that I will give is that it does touch upon grief and loss. And if that's something that maybe you're not in the mindset to play, stay away from it. But if you want to engage in a game that does have a pretty good mental health topic behind it with stunning hand-drawn graphics, then I would encourage this one. In As I Began to Dream, you enjoy hand-drawn illustrations in a puzzle platformer where you are able to rotate and swap pieces of the world as you navigate grief and loss in an attempt to find peace and acceptance. The puzzles in this game are very unique and fun and different from anything I've played before, and they do make you think on how to solve them. It's interesting how certain puzzles you might have to rotate an image, or sometimes you have to rotate but also swap it with another puzzle piece to kind of be able to get through the level. The colors and art style of this game is absolutely stunning. I appreciate hand-drawn art in games, and I really like the changes of each environment, each chapter that you go through. The colors are different. So you will notice one scene might be a little bit more in the reds and another scene might be a little bit more dark colors that are maybe deep blues and greens. And so you get to really experience the emotions that the main character, whose name is Lily, is going through. And so I thought that was a very beautiful touch to the game. I played the game completely handheld and enjoyed it. So that is something that I always like to note, especially with playing it on a console, and this one I played on the Nintendo Switch. It did run smoothly on the Switch up until I did experience a bug that made it impossible for me to finish the gameplay since the frames began to slow down and it glitched, so I couldn't really respond quickly. The transition from one area to the next is not exactly the smoothest. Rather, it glitches a little bit, and there was a moment where the text boxes for characters overlapped, but I did reach out to the team that is working with the devs to let them know about these bugs, and they made them aware of it. So hopefully by the time that this video is out, that has been resolved, and it doesn't take away from people wanting to check out the game. But I did want to note that that was my experience of it since it did happen. Other than that, the game itself was really nice, and I've been enjoying my time with it. And those are all the games that I've played lately. I would love to hear if you've played any of these, if you've even heard about any of these, or any games that you've played lately that have released that I haven't checked out myself. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like. And if you want to support the channel, please consider following for more cozy and gaming content. And from one bichota to another, stay cozy, stay warm, and I'll see you next time. Adios.